Hello everyone, welcome to yet another session of the daily news analysis by SRIRAM'S IAS, where we take up the important articles that feature in the Hindu newspaper and break them down for our understanding from the examination point of view. Let's start today's discussion by taking the important articles. The important articles which feature in the Hindu newspaper are on our screens, and let's take up the first article for the day. The first article, which reads Cheetahs likely to arrive in Kuno before August 15. Now, this is news pertaining to the reintroduction of cheetah into India, and because the cheetahs which were in India had become extinct way back in the year 1950, and that is why the Indian government is keen on reintroducing cheetah into the Indian mainland again. So this is the development now has happened, where the first batch of cheetah is set to arrive. Now, where it is arriving, what is the Kuno National Park? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about the African cheetah which is to arrive. So this becomes important for us from the point of view of GS3, where we study environment, right? So the important issues of environment, this article becomes important under that. So let's take a look at the cheetah reintroduction project. Now, before going into the Kuno National Park, where the cheetahs are going to be reintroduced, let's first understand why the cheetahs were extinct in the country. So, the cheetahs which were present in India since time immemorial were the Asiatic cheetahs, right? So, since they were present in Asia, they were known as Asiatic cheetahs, which due to rampant poaching and other such activities became extinct in the year 1950 from India. Are the Asiatic cheetahs totally extinct from the world right now? No. They are extinct only in India, and there a few number of their population is present in the country of Iran. Currently, Iran is the only country which houses the Asiatic cheetah population, and Indian government started its talks first with Iran to introduce Asiatic cheetah itself into the mainland of India, but Iran did not agree, and in return of the Asiatic cheetah, what it wanted was the Gir lion, the Asiatic lion which is situated in the Gir forest of Gujarat, and India did not agree to this. That is why the reintroduction of Asiatic cheetah into the Indian mainland could not be possible. So it then talked with the Namibian government. Now, the Namibian government is set to transfer the African cheetah into the Indian mainland, and this is the reintroduction project for African cheetah into the Indian mainland. So, which is the location that has been finalized for sending the first batch of cheetahs? That is the Kuno National Park. Where is the Kuno National Park? Let's look at the location. It is at the border of Rajasthan and MP. So, apart from the Kuno Palpur National Park, two other sites were also shortlisted for the suitability of reintroducing African cheetahs. One was the Shahagad Wildlife Sanctuary, and other was the Nauradehi National Park, which is in MP, right? So, from these three sites, the first batch of the African cheetahs will arrive at the Kuno Palpur National Park. So, why is this national park only chosen? So, the reintroduction of African cheetahs, or whichever animal is being reintroduced from another country, it is important that the habitat is suitable for that particular animal, and the habitat that is suitable for this African cheetah to thrive, after significant research was found out that the Kuno National Park is the best suitable area for the African cheetahs. Why? Because this is a forest in the semi-arid areas with deciduous kind of forest. So this is the suitable habitat for the African cheetahs to thrive. So it has a spread over an area of 748.76 km and located in the Shivpur district of Madhya Pradesh. So the location of Kuno National Park becomes an important point with respect to our prelims examination. And the Kuno River, one of the major tributaries of the Chambal River, Chambal River is the tributary of which river? You can comment in the comment box. Flows through the entire length, bisecting the National Park Division, the Kuno National Park Division. And the Kuno Park is known for the leopard, jackal and chinkara. So the presence of leopard population also makes it a favorable ground to think that the cheetahs will also be able to thrive in the Kuno National Park. Now talking about the fauna in the Kuno National Park, what are the other animals which are present? So the Kuno National Park is currently home to Indian wolves, jackals, leopards, langur, monkey, blue bull, chinkara and the spotted deer. And the most abundant prey for the carnivores here is said to be the cheetal, which is quite in number, which can be suitable for the cheetahs to be situated over here and hunt their prey. And other animals are sambar, nilgai, wild pig, chinkara, chosingha or the four-horned antelope. And the black buck, southern plains, grey langur, Indian crested porcupine and Indian hare are also some of the animals which are found in the Kuno National Park. So the information with respect to the national park becomes important for us. Now some of the differences between Asiatic and African cheetah if we talk about. So what is the IUCN status of the Asiatic cheetahs? Being extinct from India and other parts of the world and only present in Iran, the Asiatic cheetah is critically endangered. And what about the African cheetah, which is said to be reintroduced? The status of African cheetah is vulnerable. Right? So this is the major difference from the examination point of view which we can take a note of. With this, we finish this article. Let's move on to our next article for the day. The next article which appears in the newspaper reads, Saving Mothers. Now this article pertains to the important concept of the maternal mortality rate, or what we call shortly as MMR. Now this article talks about a new peer-reviewed journal and the study featured in it which analyzes the data of various districts and the maternal mortality rate in those districts and compares it to the national data and tries to find out if and when how many differences there are between the national data and the analysis carried out by this peer-reviewed journal. So we'll talk about the concept of maternal mortality rate in this aspect, which becomes important for us from the examination point of view, which becomes important for us from the GS1, wherein we study the society aspect, where these issues come into importance. Then in GS2, wherein we study the health and other related issues. So maternal mortality rate becomes important from that point of view. So the usage of maternal mortality rate is quite multifaceted and can be used in a lot of areas. Now what do we mean by maternal mortality rate? First of all, let's look at that. So when we talk about the maternal mortality ratio or rate, what this means is that it is defined as the number of maternal deaths during a given time per 1 lakh live births during the same time, which means that at a given period of time, which is generally taken in a year, where the 1 lakh live births are happening, as per these 1 lakh live births, how many deaths of the mothers is encountered, those number of deaths is taken as the maternal mortality ratio. So that is the count of MMR. And why does this count gain significance? This count becomes important because this is an indicator of the maternal health and the status of the mothers who are so vital to the process of childbirth and the care of the children as well. So that is why this count of the maternal mortality ratio gains very much significance. And according to the Sustainable Development Goals, there are certain goals which the UN has put forward in order to achieve prosperity and reforms on a lot of level. So according to the Sustainable Development Goals, the ideal ratio that should be for the maternal mortality ratio is that the ratio should be less than 70 per 1 lakh live births, which means that if as per 1 lakh live births there is less than 70 deaths happening for the mothers, it is taken as a comparatively good figure, and if the rate is going above 70, then it is taken as a cause of concern. So that is the level set by the UN under the Sustainable Development Goals. Now coming to the present study, so recent studies published in the peer-reviewed journal which is PLO is Global Public Health. In this analysis, the research journal tries to analyze the national data about the maternal mortality ratio in the country, and therefore it casts a shadow over the progress of healthcare targeting women in the country. So what does this analysis show? The analysis suggests that the 70% districts of the country, that is 448 out of 640 in India, have reported MMR above 70 deaths, which means that the goals set by the Sustainable Development Goals under the by UN, 70% of the districts in India are still yet to achieve that goal and a target under the UN's SDGs. And now according to the SRS is the sample registration system. This is the data collection system of the Indian government. According to the SRS, it said that only Assam as a state has an MMR or maternal mortality ratio more than 200, which is around 215. So according to the government data, it showed that only Assam as a state is showing very high MMR above 200. But according to the study published in the journal, it is said that the indicators are that about 130 districts have reported above 200 MMR, which means that 130 districts spread across the country. We'll see the state map in a short while, but the analysis says that 130 districts in total still show maternal mortality ratio above 200, which is a big cause of concern. Now, the study also suggests that there are great variations interstate as well, right? Which means that, let's first look at the state-wise distribution of maternal mortality ratio. Now, this shows that the southern states comparatively are better off in their performance. The blue shade gives that the maternal mortality ratio is at least less than 100, and the red states, which are the mainly the north states and the northeastern states, show a high prevalence of maternal mortality ratio. So, and the analysis also points out that apart from the state disparity, where the northern states show higher maternal mortality ratio, there is even interstate disparity, which means that in the state itself, there are certain districts which show high rate of MMR and certain districts which show low rate of maternal mortality ratio. So this was the data regarding maternal mortality ratio and the trends with respect to the same. So with this, we move on to our next topic for the day. Right, before we move on, there is also, we also have to talk about the steps to reduce the maternal mortality ratio, right? Because after taking account of the data, what are those steps which are important that are required to reduce the maternal mortality ratio? So what are those steps? First of all, improvements in access to contraceptives. What this would do is that this would lessen the unwanted pregnancies and lessen the threat to the mother's lives. And the improvement of antenatal care, right? So the care which is required for the mothers at the time of the pregnancy, and the post-delivery health care. Now, once the delivery is done, the health care that is required after the delivery, that is also very important, because a lot of times after the delivery, either the child survives or the mother survives. In a lot of cases, the mother's death is also seen. So the post-delivery health care is also very important to take care of. Then improving the economic status of the families as well as the females residing in the villages and the rural areas, which means that improving the economic status will result into better nutrition facilities, better health facilities that they can avail of. That is why this is also an important intervention that needs to be done. And then is a concerted reduction of higher order births or births in higher ages. So this is also an important factor for the maternal mortality rates, which means that in an increased age, if the pregnancy is carried out, it poses a greater risk to the life of the mother, and this also needs to be reduced. And talking about some of the government initiatives as to what has the government done to reduce the maternal mortality ratio. So government has promulgated several schemes with respect to this aspect which become important, which are, first is the Janani Suraksha Yojana under the National Health Mission to link cash assistance to institutional deliveries, which means that if the mother is at the time of delivery, the government under the Janani Suraksha Yojana gives cash incentives or cash installments to the mother for taking care of the delivery and other healthcare activities that are important at that point of time. And then is the Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan, which provides a fixed day for assured, comprehensive and quality antenatal care free of cost to the pregnant women on the 9th of every month, which means that one day of the month is fixed for the care of the mother after delivery and for the comprehensive health care that should be provided to the mother after the delivery. And then next is the Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana and the Poshan Abhiyan and Lakshya guidelines. All of these schemes, even the Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana gives incentive while before the delivery is happening and functions as a maternity leave for all those rural laborers who have to stop work because of pregnancy. So this provides cash benefits to these mothers. So these are all the schemes that the government has promulgated in order to help the mothers in their time of delivery before and after as well. And these are also steps which, if implemented properly, will give out significant result in reducing the maternal mortality ratio. So with this, now let's move on to our next article for the day. Now the next article which appears in the newspaper reads, "The sweltering heat wave across Europe." Now I'm sure everyone must have looked at the developments of the extreme heat conditions that are prevailing in Europe. What is happening in Europe? So devastation due to extreme weather has been particularly acute in Western Europe, which has been hit by raging wildfires, drought and hundreds of heat-related deaths. So what is happening in Europe is that unusual hot temperatures are being encountered, where it's yesterday's news that UK encountered its highest ever temperature ranging to 40 degrees. And some parts of Europe have also recorded temperatures between 42 degrees to 46 degrees Celsius, which means that these regions which were never privy to such hot temperatures are now witnessing such hot temperatures. And what has this resulted into? Across Europe, there are wildfires which are visible, drought conditions are there, and hundreds of heat-related deaths are being encountered, where in parts of France, thousands of people had to be evacuated to temporary shelters and 1900 hectares of forest has been destroyed due to wildfires. In Portugal, more than 250 blazes over a period of 2 days, 250 instances of wildfires and 650 deaths due to heat-related illness in a span of 1 week has been seen. And in case of Spain, it lost 14,000 hectares of land due to fires and estimated 360 deaths caused by extreme heat, mostly of elderly people. All of this is the data of the past month itself, wherein the extreme hot temperatures has been encountered very suddenly, and it is said that this will persist till the month in the existing month of July and will continue to in the month of August itself, August as well. So this is the condition which the Europe is in. But why did this happen? How is this suddenly possible that Europe is encountering such hot conditions? So the reasons for this phenomena, the scientists and other experts have pointed out, is that everybody is agreeing that this is an example of climate change. Now, the effects of climate change are more visible right now in a more alarming manner, that the parts of Europe is seeing where the world itself is encountering increase in temperature, where there has already been an increase of 1 degree Celsius temperature for the average temperature of the whole planet. And in this manner, even the parts of Europe is experiencing the same. Now what is happening is that the hot region of Europe is converting into a low pressure area, and when the parts of Europe gets converted into a low pressure area, it is attracting a lot of heat as well from the adjacent area, which is converting it into a heat dome, where the heat is getting trapped in parts of Europe, which is also becoming a major factor in the increasing temperatures in the parts of Europe. And the other factor for the increasing temperatures in the parts of US is being said about the jet stream. Now what is this jet stream? A jet stream is a narrow band of westerly air current that circulates several kilometers above the Earth's surface. Now what is happening with the jet stream? Let's look at it through a diagram. Now what is a jet stream? A jet stream is nothing but a horizontally moving air from east to west direction, and this narrow band of air is formed when two extreme temperature air masses meet at one point. So this is the polar jet stream and this is the subtropical jet stream. Are these the two areas where the pressure belts merge? So in the areas of polar jet stream, a extreme hot air mass is arriving from the downward area, and extreme cold air mass is arriving from the upper area. Now when these two air masses meet, the area between them is an area prone with a lot of fluctuation and convergence of air masses. So what this results into is a creation of jet stream which flows horizontally, and this jet stream becomes a factor of cooling down the atmosphere of Northern America over which this jet stream flows. But what has happened right now? This jet stream has weakened. While a conventionally strong jet stream would bring cooler air from the northern Atlantic, in recent years the jet stream has weakened and split into two. Again, an impact of climate change. Why has it split into two? Because of the increasing temperatures in the Atlantic itself. And due to that, the temperatures of the jet stream has also reduced and it has split into two, leading to intense and more frequent heat waves over parts of the American continent. So these are the reasons that have been seen for the encountering the increase in temperatures over parts of Europe and US. And which is the central reason behind all of this? So everybody is agreeing that this is nothing but an image of the increase of climate change and the increasing instances of climate change that are more alarmingly visible in the planet right now. So what is the impact then when such hot temperatures will be seen? What impacts do we see? We already saw that there are wildfires, there are deaths happening due to increase in temperature. The other impact that is getting caused in Europe, that is, there is greater need for energy. When the temperature is hot, more number of air conditioners are to be used. So already the regions of Europe are facing an energy crisis. They used to import their gas supplies from Russia. Now due to Russia-Ukraine war and due to them having to implement sanctions on Russia, they are able to access the Russian gas in a less manner right now. So the need for energy for them is also increasing and the availability of the gas supply is also decreasing. So it's a very dire situation. Therefore, the reliance has gone back to coal now, wherein a lot of experts are saying that if the gas supply is less, the shift to coal burning is also very much possible right now. This again would contribute to global warming again, right? So therefore, due to shortage of gas, the reliance on coal is also set to again go back to usage of coal. Then third impact which is getting caused is that due to this increased heat, the water table is going down and it is resulting into water depletion, and therefore it is leading to droughts across Europe as well. So these are the impacts of the increasing temperatures in the parts of Europe. So this was the discussion with respect to what is happening in Europe. Why is the temperature in Europe increasing? Why are there increased extreme amount of heat waves visible? What are the reasons for it? And what is the impact that we see that is happening in the parts of Europe? So this was the discussion. We finish here and we meet again tomorrow with the important articles for the day. Thank you.